Listen to Aunties Mary, Lottie and Regina on the Family Enrichment Programme on Starr Radio UK. This and every Saturday from 6 to 8 p.m.
Some people are wicked because don't make it your business going about revealing
people's secrets. Don't be a busybody.
And some people. Today's typical family is under pressure from various directions. Divorce is on the increase. More and more of the Afro-Caribbean youth are taking to crime, etc. The Family Enrichment Programme brings together a team of qualified experts to discuss and shed light on how we can make our families better and stronger. It is said the family can do without the society, but the society can't. Listen to the Family Enrichment Programme this and every Saturday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. on Starr Radio UK, your favourite Afro-Caribbean radio station in London.
Download our app in iTunes and the Google Play Store.
Listeners, and welcome to Family Enrichment Program. This is the program that aims at putting spices in your family life and bringing about a positive impact. I'm Lottie, your host, and with me in the studio is Auntie Regina, my co-host, and we have Auntie Vinolia, Auntie V, as affectionately called, joining us in the studio this evening. Our topic for discussion today is relationship leading to marriage, but we will dwell on relationship, what relationship is, the types, and then we develop it from there. So Auntie Regina, say hello to the listeners.
Hi everybody. Hello everybody, good evening, and good evening to all our listeners. Welcome to Starr Radio UK this evening.
You're welcome. You're welcome, Auntie Vinolia. Can you introduce yourself as it's your first time on Starr Radio UK Family Enrichment Program, and say hello to whoever you wish to say hello to.
Hi everybody, good evening. It's a pleasure to be here. And it's my first time, so I'm a bit nervous.
Camera shy. Camera shy.
I'm sure by the end of the evening or of the 2 hours, you'll be chilled. We have a lot of fun here.
We do, don't we? We do.
So you are welcome, and thank you for accepting the invitation to join us on this vast topic.
Thank you.
We are excited about this topic because there's a lot of facets to it, and we hope to learn as well as sharing what we've researched and our experiences. We look forward to listeners calling in, contributing. I want to say a massive hello to all the congregation in Bible Life Family Ministries, both in Croydon and in Milton Keynes. Thank you. Hello to Auntie Mary. She's been very, very busy. She had a hectic day yesterday. I was talking to her this evening and she sends her love. She hopes to be here next week. Hello, Auntie Mary. If you are listening and if you're okay, we'll expect a call from you. Hello to the Women Fellowship of Bible Life Family Ministries in Croydon, the King's Daughters, the women with a difference. I hope you tune in and contribute as well. Okay, and thank you to our producer, our one and only, and my one and only, Archie.
The one and only.
The one and only. And hello to all our listeners, both in the UK and across the globe. I hope you enjoy this topic. Okay. We talk about relationship a lot. And we are wondering, what do we really mean by that? What is relationship? And I was looking at the definition in the dictionary, and it said that the way two or more people are connected, or the way they feel and behave towards each other. And there are so many different types. So I will invite Auntie Regina to first of all tell us what she thinks relationship is. What, when we say relationship, what do we mean? And also, as we believe in God, we will be talking about what the Bible says about relationship as well. And that is our point of view. You may have a different point of view based on your religious beliefs, but this is what we believe, and this is what we are going to share. So our first scripture that talks about relationship is from 1 Corinthians chapter 11 verse 11. Who's got it open too?
I have it, so I can read it for us. Okay, so 1 Corinthians chapter 11 verse 11. And I'm reading the NIV translation. So nevertheless, in the Lord, woman is not independent of man, nor is man independent of woman. Okay. Amen, as they say.
Amen. So we need each other. We look up to each other, and we all need each other. That is what the Bible is saying. We are not autonomous beings. So we interconnect, and we need each other. So on that note, I'll bring Auntie Regina in. When we say relationship, what do we mean? We hear it all the time.
All the time we talk about relationship. I think we take it for granted most of the time. We just think that it's just a word that we throw around. Everybody is just saying relationship. You know, especially the young ones. I'm in relationship. I'm in relationship. And that's how everybody's just talking. But it's good. This topic, I'm excited, Auntie Lottie. I don't know what to say. I like things that are, you know, special and unique. And I think relationship is unique. But generally, the Oxford Dictionary says, in a way which two or more people are connected. So when we talk about relationship, that's the basic, the rock or the foundation of it. The way in which one or more or two people are connected, okay? And it's also the state of being related and interrelated. In relation, connection, binding, so something that binds people. So the participants must have a common bond that brings them together. That is what the relationship. And the reason for some of these adjectives will become more apparent as the series develops, because it's important. The bonding. You see, mother and child bonds, isn't it? The moment you give birth to a child, the midwives will bring the baby to the breast in order for the mother and the child to bond, and they leave a lot of time. But I was asking myself, the mother and child are bonding when they are in the baby's in the stomach, no? So bonding is very important. So the way where one or two people bond together. So that's one other aspect. And then it talks about, when you go into extent, the romantic relationship is the relationship between two lovers. So it's the bonding, the connection, how people are participating. So that's where we are coming from.
Yeah, and the common factor that puts them together. Yes. Okay. Auntie Vinolia, when we say relationship, what's your view on it?
Well, my personal view on it, again, is because we are Christians, so it's taking it from the Christian perspective. So I'll look at the scripture that I've got here. It's Revelation 21:3, which says that, behold, the tabernacle of God is with men, and he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people. So God created people to be in relationship with himself and with other people.
Can you repeat the scripture?
Oh, the scripture, Revelation 21, verse 3.
Do you want to read it again?
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Revelation 21, verse 3. Behold, the tabernacle of God is with men, and he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people. So God created us to dwell with us. And we know that, God comes to dwell with Adam in the Garden of Eden. We've read that in the Bible. So I believe, we are created for one another. We add value to one another by being in a relationship.
Thank you very much. So both of you have dwelled on the fact that we need each other. We are interconnected, and even from the beginning, God created us to be in relationship. That's why he created Adam, and then he created a companion for him as well. Okay. Auntie Regina, pardon me, be thinking about Auntie Mary.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you want to add anything more to how you've defined relationship before we move straight into the different types, and then we'll look at the types one after the other? Okay. But as we develop it, we want to end up talking about, I know there are so many different types, but because this is a family enrichment program, a family program, we want to zero in by the time we finish on relationship between man and a woman, the romantic relationship between man and a woman leading to marriage, because we want our young ones as well to know the differences and how they can prepare to get to marriage.
Okay, so relationship is basically how two or three or more people or groups of people are connected. Okay, and when we talk about relationship, we're looking at the common bond, so common grounds, as some people may say. So when we talk about relationship in terms of the family unit, we will get there. We will look at how that is defined or how it's looked at or perceived in society. And then when you talk about relationship with friends, with acquaintances, the list is endless. There's so many going on. But before a relationship, or when there is a relationship, there's a common ground, there's a common bond, there's a common reason. The benefits are there, the risks are there, the disadvantages are there. Sometimes being in certain relationships can be a disadvantage and not of a benefit. So that is also something we have to be mindful of. But when we bring it into our social, personal circles and we zero in very closely, when I know somebody, I'm in relationship with that person. Is that not the case? But we are going to look at it, because what we tend to do, even in our social circles, you meet somebody and all you do is, unless you are partying together, you don't talk to the person, you don't have any dealings with the person, no phone calls, no text messages, nothing. But yet you see as if, quote unquote, you are in relationship with that person. So the moment you see that person, something attracts you. So there's attraction, there's that connection, and it draws you to that person, and you think you are in relationship. When you are not careful, you go to the hairdressers, you think you have a relationship with the hairdresser, you go and have a mouth diarrhea there, you'll be in trouble. So basically it's the bond, isn't it? The connection. There has to be a reason, there has to be basics, grounds for that relationship. And it could be because you are my hairdresser. The last time I visited a hairdresser, I paid her 3 hours. She used me an hour and she didn't pay me. So next time I go there, I won't do that again. So there's that connection, there's that rationale, there's that reasoning. And sometimes we have some relationship which are professional. We have some relationship which is just acquaintances. We don't know them. You meet them once every year. but you still have that kind of connection with that person, be it because at that end of the year you review your whole life in a space of 2 minutes or 2 hours. So that's what I want to add to it, and I think as we develop the topic, we will get there.
Okay, so to go a step back, do you want to list the different types of relationships, and then we can
okay, we can look at it. It's so much. I mean, I think there are four fundamentals that can evolve and become something grand. So there are 4 basics, and the 4 basic is the family relationships, then there's friendship, then there's casual relationships, and then there's romantic relationship. And then another research says there are 5, and the 5 are also in their own world a different format. So the 5 includes the friendship, and then it includes the family, then it includes the romantic, the professional, and Auntie Lottie, look at this one, the self. You have a relationship with the self. That's beautiful. It is unique, and that one I want us to look into at some point. The relationship with yourself, because we neglect ourselves.
we do.
We become so overwhelmed and so concerned with everybody else around us. As mothers, we do that. As wives, we do that. As grandparents, we do that. I'm not there yet, but those that are there as grandparents, we do that. As aunties, as uncles, the list is endless. But we don't relate with self. And I think in social media now is such a big thing. You relate with in-laws, you relate with, the extended family, but not self. And I wonder why we don't do that.
Okay. Auntie Vinolia. Auntie Regina has described 4 or 5 main types of relationships. And I want to take your view on that. Are you on the same page?
Yes, we are on the same page.
Yeah, and what is your view?
Definitely, we need a family relationship. We need that. Yeah, and then a friendship relationship. One needs that as well. And then I've got society. We need, because the society, and then it comes in the church as well. So as we are in a church, in a body of Christ, yes, we need to form a relationship with one another, because Christ is the head of the church and we are the branches of that church. So definitely we need to be in relationship with one another. We may not love one another, but we have to have a common ground, like Auntie Regina said. We have a common ground, which is we are in Christ. So therefore we form that relationship, and forming that relationship will bring things like our giftings, will bring all those things to, for this church to flourish. I don't know.
That is good. That is good. So, listeners, if you've just joined us, this is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in the UK, and this is the Family Enrichment program. I'm Lottie, and Auntie Regina and Auntie Vinolia are with me in the studio, and our topic for discussion today is relationships. We've defined what relationship is what the dictionary says is interconnection with each other, with between 2 or more people, and it's how we feel and behave towards each other, and the common denominator, the common ground that brings us together. And Auntie Vinolia has zeroed in on the church, our relationship within the church, our relationship with God, and God created us to have relationship with Him and with each other. So now we're going to look at the different types. We've touched on friendship as a relationship, marriage, society, the church, casual relationship, So, Auntie Regina, which of these 4 or 5 do you want to start with to break it down for
others? I think we should look at friendship. Okay. And then we can pick the others as we go along for the program. So we can look at friendship. Okay. But for people that are listening, please bear in mind that relationship is essential in every aspect of our life. Okay? It's so key. It's so essential. It is what will enable you to flourish. Okay? Now, I'm not saying that you must go out there and make friends. Relationship can start from your own home. In fact, it should start from your own home. Okay? Yes, you can be in relationship with people at church, you can be in relationship with people at work, but there are boundaries in which all this relationship operates, if you like, code of ethics and a code of conduct. But when you talk about relationship and you're looking at it from home, is where one is at liberty to be themselves. Okay, and that is key. A lot of family are suffering, a lot of homes are going through various challenges because we take that for granted. Okay, when we go out, we are able to relate. When we are at work, whether we like it or not, because there's a code of conduct, we are able to relate with each other. And that code of conduct can be as simple as respect. But when we come home, it's like we don't understand or don't even know what the word respect is. So we are doing this on behalf of everybody that is listening. Okay, please let us all zoomed in pick on these things and help each other. We are in a new year, a new era, a new everything. Christmas is a season, a time that people suffer. Families suffer, relationships break down, marriages. You know, the divorce rate is high during Christmas.
And after Christmas.
And after Christmas. So we need to get to understand that relationship is not, excuse the phrase, like a Christmas dog. You know, you want a Christmas dog, you buy the dog, and then after Christmas, you leave the dog out there by themselves. No, that's not what relationship is. You're dealing with human emotions because you're connecting with people. So you're dealing with human emotions, you're dealing with the mind, you're dealing with the body. And we are fragile. Human beings are very fragile. No matter how tough somebody may look, we are very fragile. So please, relationship.
We put a front, upper front, don't we? But deep down, behind. I always say that when I see people that smile a lot, laugh a lot, I'm always suspicious.
You put a question mark on it.
Nobody can be that happy all the time. So but
how do you know if the person has taken their happy pill?
Yeah,
some people have
still something behind, isn't it? Yeah, but I like the point about boundaries. When I was researching and I was looking at what makes a good relationship, and then boundaries came up, and I said to myself, I've never thought about it that way. That when we go outside our home, we have boundaries, we have rules. But when we are at home in a relationship, sometimes we don't define these boundaries. It's undefined
boundaries, isn't it? And there's a good side to that.
There is.
There's a good side to that. I recently said to a friend, I want to be at home and be able to walk in the house naked if I want. I don't want guests around. Do you know what I'm saying? There's no way I can go on the street and be naked.
No.
I'll be arrested.
Yes, definitely.
But if I'm in my house, it's within my confinements, isn't it? Outside the gaze of the world, social media, political media, whatever media you want to have, they can't come to my house. Well, unless they are snooping, they are using drones. But officially, they can't come to my house. But if you have guests around all the time, you can't go naked in the house. It's not gonna be possible. And if you are in the house with your children, you know how to operate, isn't it? I mean, sometimes you take it for granted. You do anything in front of the children, they become accustomed to it. It doesn't faze them. They are not surprised anymore.
You have to do it though when they are younger, but not when they are grown up though.
I suppose so. I suppose it has to be part and parcel of the culture of the home. in order for people to know. But the key is there's still no defined boundaries. So when I cook my rice and I know I'm going to eat my rice, my child can go and eat the rice, isn't it? And don't even tell you. Rice cooker. Meanwhile, you can't do that at work. You can't take something without asking. So
does not belong to you.
Which does not, you can't. So when it comes to the family home, the boundaries are not defined, and that is possibly one of the reasons why family units are suffering under attack left, right, and center. So we hope this program will help and encourage and build somebody up, maybe enlighten somebody that enlighten somebody that we need to bring boundaries in. It's not just, you see, we expect the wife and the husband to operate within boundaries. The relationship that the two of them are in, there is an undertone of code of conduct. There we go.
I would say that is why communication comes in. Communication plays majority part of relationship. In a relationship, you need to communicate with one another. You know, like if I'm going out and I don't tell you where I'm going, and it's time I should be home, and I'm not home, you'll be wondering, you're worried. You know, we're in a
good way. In a good way. But if the communication is not effective, the recipient of this phone call will tell you, why are you checking on me? Please, let me not be the only alien in this room. Let me not be the only alien in this room who has heard this before. So it happens, isn't it? But you mean well. And if you don't call at all, then the person comes home. Do you know what I'm saying? And so the relationship needs to be, I don't know, built.
Yeah, well, obviously you're building it from scratch. So before a man and a woman come together, they must communicate, you know, with one another that, look, I like you or you like me. Sorry, maybe I'm diverting from the topic, but yeah. So you build up that relationship from communicating with one another. Yeah, for you to know what I like and for me to know what you dislike. Yeah, we need to have that
dialogue.
Discussion. You know, with one another. If we don't have that from beginning, where do we stand with that you know, relationship?
Communication
plays
a major
for me
role.
I always say communication, no matter how little. We need to communicate with one another.
Not just the communication, the transparency, the quality of it.
Honesty.
The quality of it is key.
Definitely.
Is key. So when we are in relationship, where it says a state that the affairs exist between two or more or a group. So the state is what we're talking about. What the reason? Why am I in relationship with? Have you ever asked this question? Why am I in relationship with you?
Yeah, my question is, why do we need relationships?
Exactly. Why do we need relationships? It's a good question. Why am I in a relationship with you? Am I in relationship with you to get what I want and run? Or am I in relationship with you for the long haul? And as we develop the topic, I like some of the quotes that I came across. It's so nice. So I hope we will get there.
Oh, definitely.
I hope we will get there. So friendship. Okay, so friendship. What is friendship? Yeah? One of the basics of the main four. So friendship means family, or familiar, of liking each other. So that's friendship. So it's familiar. And then liking each other or each other's mindset. Okay, so that is the basics of friendship, and it goes on and on. When people are friends, they like to talk to each other. Hey, I have some friends, they haven't called me for a long time, so I was wondering whether they are friends. Their numbers from your phone. They like to talk to each other. So if you are a friend of mine and you've not spoken to me for a while, ask yourself, are you a friend? Okay. So they spend time together. Okay, so friendship, they spend time together. They also help each other. Very key. They help each other when the other is in trouble or when the other is hurting. So the strength of the bond of friendship between two people can vary if the bond is strong or if the bond is weak. If the bond is strong, they call themselves best friends, like me and Auntie Lottie. We are best friends. Oh, and Auntie Vinolia.
You're already in trouble.
No.
I'm joking.
I know she's joking.
Auntie Vinolia knows I love her so much. So yes, so when the bond is strong, we call ourselves best friends.
Yes.
And when the bond is not so strong, we call ourselves friends. So depending upon the level or the intensity of the bond. So that's friendship. And there's so many synonymous with the word relationship, because under relationship we can have friendship, we can have close relationship, we can have attachment. Social workers like the word attachment. We can have mutual attachment, we can have allegiance.
Okay.
Now that's a good one. You know when you are in an allegiance with somebody, a mutual benefit, that one is not relationship of any kind. That is a proper political allegiance. There it is based on what we can achieve together, basically. Yeah. There's link, there's union, and the list is endless. And the English have a word they call camaraderie, which again is friendship. So when you are very close, you do things similar, familiarity. So we have the same mindset, we do things, we are very familiar. And at times it can be on the backdrop of being work colleagues as well. So we go to work, we play together, we laugh together, we struggle together, we work together. So those are the kind of friendships that, and friendship is a noun word. So it's a doing word. Don't be friends and be stagnant or dormant. Obi or yawadam for be our adding to you, no. Drop that person.
You have to take stock, don't you?
Shall I stop before I go too far?
No,
Producer says I should stop before I go too far. Producer says I should stop before I go too far. So I'll let others also bring in their.
Yeah, Auntie Vinolia, what's your take on friendship?
Well, like Auntie Regina has already said, you know, friendship is, you know, being there for one another, caring for one another. She said it all.
The closeness, okay, the rapport, the harmony, the understanding. You know, when you are friends, you have to understand. You know, we don't understand each other.
How can you be friends if you don't understand each other?
And having the
We
same
do.
mindset, like you said,
We
you
do.
know, having the
We
same
have lots of
mindset.
friends, we don't understand them.
Then I wouldn't call them friends because I wouldn't be calling them. Like, you are saying you've got some friends, they haven't called you for a while.
Yeah, but they still love me.
How do you know?
Because if I care about you, friendship is about caring,
Supporting, being there for each other.
encouragement and all that.
Maybe they are just busy.
For how long?
For a year?
A year. That's too long.
That's too long?
That's too long to say you are friends with somebody and not check up on the person.
For
But
a
have you
year?
called them? That's the other side of the coin.
Coin.
Yeah.
I've
It's
kind of
a-
sent a
A
message.
message. And didn't get anything back.
No.
Oh, okay.
No. But I know they love me, and I know they think and they mean well. But I also understand what they're going through and the challenges they're facing.
Okay. If you understand,
So
you are
I
aware of
understand them, you see.
Okay.
So
Then
we have
that's
to
different.
understand. We have to understand each other. There's not enough understanding. There's not enough tolerance. There's not enough patience when it comes to our relationships. We are all very on edge and very touchy. Very touchy. We are not very deep. You know, some friendships are very shallow, very superficial, very artificial. And that one is the one they smile in your face and they stab you at the back. Yeah. Sometimes they don't even wait for the back. Oh. Just as they are smiling in your face, they are stabbing you with a knife and they are rubbing it in, and the smile is still there. So some friendship are very superficial. And if we look at the definition of friendship, which is having like-minded, liking similar things, having the same mindset, caring for one another, I wonder why we have relationships that are superficial. Why would you be my friend and be superficial?
That is not true friendship, then, I would say.
But this person can come and be there for you in hospital, to when you're on the hospital bed, and be caring for you, and bring you the food, the drink. They can be in your house. They can be on your phone. Everywhere you go, you will see them. They will even follow you. But they are the ones that are stabbing you.
That's a tricky one.
Yeah.
I don't know what you...
Well, I would say that person obviously does not know Christ. Because if they know Christ, if they know God, obviously they will not be doing that. You know, they will not be smiling with you, going with you to everywhere and then stabbing you on the back. Yeah.
Why would somebody do that anyway? That it's pretense, then, I would say. That you're pretending to be my friend.
I think you guys are beginning to warm up. I want you to warm up.
Deep down, you are not a friend.
No, you're
because
not.
if you're a true friend, you won't be behaving.
You are adding the word true. The person says I'm your friend. You are the one bringing the word true. That's why we are doing this program, so people can differentiate.
Somebody going to that level, because if it's not a close friendship, you won't be visiting the person in hospital, caring for the person, doing all the things that you've described. You relate to the person from some distance. We've got friends like that.
But don't we have friends who come and visit who are not friends? We don't have them.
Yeah, we do.
Visit me, but they are not friends.
Yes.
I'm struggling to get my head around
But
it.
look, we all belong to a church, right?
Yeah.
And we've got such people in church, don't we? We have such
If
people.
I'm not that close with you, you can come and visit me.
Oh, so you got boundaries. Most of us don't have boundaries.
You can come to
Auntie
my
Lottie, that's what it boils down to. Maybe your boundaries are in place.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it comes down to. But most of us don't have those boundaries. And sometimes it's not that we don't have boundaries, but from a church environment, you think this is a friend.
Of course, yeah.
And so you open your door.
Yeah.
And within 2 hours or 3 hours of the person being there, you would ask yourself 5 hours later,
Why did I?
what happened just now?
Yeah.
Okay, so this program is there to help somebody, the youth, the young adults, whatever. Know who you call a friend. And so there's a saying that keep your friends close, but keep your enemies even closer. So be careful who you call a friend. Okay, people may be very pretentious. They care, you know, they care. Oh, how are you? They'll give you the hug, they'll give you the pat, they'll give you the encouragement, they'll give you everything. And even they probably will even loan you money when you need it, but only for them to pick up their phone and broadcast it to the world. So be careful who you call a friend and how you understand what boundaries are you operating this friendship from. And the intensity and the level and the connection will be different from one to the other. I mean, when we talk about relationship and when we dive deep into marriage, we will see husband and wife living in the same home, having competition, and then all sorts happening, but they are married. So why are we thinking that ordinary friends cannot have these challenges? It gets worse.
If you are married and you are in the same home and you are having these challenges, then it means something is not right.
Not right, yeah.
The marriage is not going the way it's supposed to be.
But they are married and still living together.
Yeah, it's not right. The same with friendship. If you are my friend and you come to me and then afterwards I hear that you've gone to say this and that about me, negative things, I wouldn't see you as a friend. And from that point of view, I'll review my relationship with
so
you.
you will review it after something has happened, but it still happened, isn't it? And the
happened.
trust, because every relationship must be based on trust.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
So once the trust is broken, It's difficult to maintain the relationship.
Exactly.
And it's easier to break away once the trust is broken. Once the respect is not there anymore, the loyalty is not there anymore, the allegiance is not there anymore, the care is not there anymore. There's so many reasons why these relationships are breaking down and friendship is not thriving or flourishing, okay? But we can see some friendship are so special, okay? And we have the good side, and there are skills to building good relationship, and those are the ones I'm learning now in this stage of my life.
Learning is every day.
Learning is every day, yes, but I'm learning them. I'm taking them very seriously, how to build close friendship. I'm one that don't have a lot of friends. I don't have a lot of friends. My friends
But
are
I have very close, good friends.
very little.
Dependable friends.
I've got one.
See, and if you find one in a lifetime, you are blessed.
Yeah, very blessed.
If you find one in a lifetime, you are blessed. If you find 5 in a lifetime, you are highly favored.
I think I am highly favored because I've got a handful of very, very good, dependable friends.
Right.
And we've been friends for over
Maybe you need to
30
come
years.
and teach us the skills.
No, you have
So
to be
friends-
selective.
Selective.
Yeah, you have to be selective.
Hey.
Which is difficult for some of us to be selective. You know, for me, if I meet you, I like you, I'm all out on you. I love you. Everything is all out.
No, I
Just
take
to be-
my time.
Just to find out, you know, a year or two later that that person, the way I love them, that they don't love me that way.
Oh, I like
And
the
then-
way she's brought that aspect. Well done.
It just, hence I've only got one friend. Somebody that I call a true friend. That whatever I discuss with her, it stays with her. It will not go anywhere else.
But can you have a male friend as a female friend?
Yeah. Well,
Because she spoke nicely, and then she ended up talking about a female friend.
Well, the male friends, there's a question mark on those ones because, you know, you never know. Look, I thought I did. Again, this is talking about church environment. There's a couple that I love the woman, I love the man, you know, and I thought they were my friends, just for the woman to turn around and say that, oh, I want you to keep away from my husband. I'm not after your husband. Come on, girl. I am not after your husband. He's not my type. Honestly. So
And maybe the man is not even thinking about that.
well,
What do you know?
Maybe he is, but I'm not. I'm not looking at him that way.
You can only speak from your
I know,
perspective.
definitely.
And that's fine.
Yeah.
That's
or
fine.
there's some insecurity.
Insecurity.
Oh, you see, now the woman is insecure. Ah, okay.
If you see yourselves as friends, I'll use you and us as an example.
Okay.
We are friends.
Yeah.
You are friends with my husband.
Yeah.
You talk to my husband.
Yeah.
You talk to me.
Yeah.
So if I turn round and I say to you, Auntie Regina, hey, keep away from my husband, stay away from him, then it means that I'm feeling insecure about your relationship with him. But if I trust you and I trust my husband, then there shouldn't be that dialogue going on. Or one person must have done something for that issue for that mistrust.
I mean,
to
there should be boundaries, and there should be a code of conduct, shouldn't there? Excuse me to say this. Respect yourself.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, across the board, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I understand. I'm not criticizing. I'm not judging. Sometimes I just like to spin the wheel a bit.
I know you.
I just like to spin the wheel a bit. So respect yourself and respect everybody, and that is the basis. I think with everything in the world, every human relationship, respect is just like
Fundamental.
you know, if you don't understand the word respect, you disgrace yourself and you disgrace people around you. Okay, and when we go into it, the trust, the loyalty, and the list is endless. And these are the things that we build our lives with. Okay, when you see somebody down the road and their heart is broken and they are distraught and very distressed and all that, it's because someone has touched on a nerve. Could be a loyalty, it could be trust, it could be honesty, you know, and we take these things for granted. But as we said to begin with, human beings, we are very fragile. So what Regina Aban can absorb and manage and deal with, don't expect Joe Blocks down the road to be able to do that. So if I'm a friend to Auntie Lottie, I must know the kind of person I'm interacting with. Okay? The likes, the dislikes, Auntie talked about it when we began, and the preferences. And if I don't know it and I don't make it a business to know it, and you know, we have some friends that thread on your toes all the time. I mean, these are the friends I'm not opening my doors to anymore.
That's taking advantage. So, some people, somebody will say, like joke. Well,
then it's expensive joke.
It's expensive joke. They do things that, I'm joking with you. Oh, we are this, we are that, and meanwhile, it's just what
I don't like friends that take and they don't give.
Yeah, what they can get out of that relationship. That's all they focus on.
I don't like friends that take and don't give.
If you're in a good relationship, a good friendship, a true friendship, it's give and take and supporting, being there for one another, not just what you can get out of that friendship or that relationship that you always focus on. It has
so
to be.
Friendship is a doing word. I think we've gone and we've expatiated. It's a doing word, and it's based on mutual respect, mutual trust, mutual support, mutual understanding. So do I understand you, Auntie Viloni? I've known you how many years now? 4 years or plus. Do I understand you?
No, I don't.
That's a good one.
But I do understand you.
That's what you think.
Okay.
So what makes you say that you think she doesn't understand
Because we don't meet that regularly. We don't talk that regularly. We don't do things together. As we are talking about friendship, we don't do things together regularly.
There's no hey, watch them. I don't want to lose this friend. No. Auntie Lottie, please move on. No. I like the friendship I have here.
You defined it.
But that does not mean that I'm
practice.
not going to call you my friend, though.
Yeah.
I know I have a friend.
It's a different type of friendship.
It is. Yeah. I have a friend somewhere that I can call on, you know.
And you talk regularly, more than you do. We have different, as you said from the beginning, the intensities are different.
Definitely.
The different levels, the different interactions. But it doesn't mean that we are
not friends.
Not friends. And sometimes you have to gauge how much you disclose, how much involved you become in some types of friendships, because we are all different, and people's intentions and focuses are different. So you have to gauge it and relate to the level that you feel comfortable with.
I know we respect each other. We have high respect for one another.
Definitely.
And we trust one another.
Of course.
And friendship is someone that is trustworthy. When you call someone a friend, that person is trustworthy. You're not afraid to tell them anything. You're not afraid to tell them anything. You're open to them, and they can tell you the truth without being afraid. Okay? So if you have a friend who cannot tell you the truth and they lie to you and lie about you, that's not a friend.
That's not a friend. Because you shouldn't be afraid, sorry to cut in, to point out when you're going wrong. I know we have a saying in our Akan language, maybe producer, you can translate. Do you chocolate name say nechiachia? So sometimes we behave in a way or we do certain things and we don't realize the effect on the other person unless they tell us. Yeah. So if you are my friend or we say we are friends and something is going wrong or going amiss and you can point it out to me and I'm going down the ditch and still going. And
you're still applauding me.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I get up and drink 20 bottles of whatever a day. I'm smoking, I'm in and out all of that. I have a very high debt rate, spending all my money, and every day you ring me and say, how much did you spend today? And I say, well, I spent £2,000 on a credit card. You say, oh, you know very well.
I cannot be a true friend.
Yeah.
Definitely not.
Okay, you wanted to
I was just going to say, maybe it's also the society that we come from, that, you know, like I, for instance, I don't open up to people easily. I used to, but because of, you know, relationship that I've had in the past, experiences that I've had in the past. So right now, I'm cautious. I don't even open my doors to anyone, okay? Because I'm keeping myself to myself so that I'm not, whatever I do at home is not out there to the world to know. Yeah, so I believe it's the society that we are.
Our culture sometimes, no, I wouldn't want to even limit to our culture alone. In society, there are sometimes unfortunate situations, okay? And sometimes unknowingly, when you are being transparent, someone is being a chameleon, they camouflage themselves in order to come into your circle, poison the waters, and then they go away. And they don't take care of the damage that they've done or do. Okay, because from that one or two experiences, some people have been known not to ever open up to anybody, and then they shut themselves away from the world. Okay, and they can be suffering with all kinds of things, and it can be a problem. So, you know, let's be mindful of these things as we go about forming relationships. Don't be easily led to think that Joe Blocks is the best thing that has happened to you, because Joe Blocks could be the angel
in disguise.
I didn't want to say it. the angel of doom in disguise. So don't be easily misled that Joe Blocks is the best thing that has happened. As they say, the best thing next to bread. You know, so it can be an issue there. Right, shall I move on?
Yes.
I think I've dwelt on here for so long. Break. Okay, producers, we are going on.
Okay, we're going to take a short musical break and we'll be back.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
Over Satan power.
Nerman, strong and mighty. Yes, we didn't call him more. See, I'm an overcomer. Listen, no weapon fashioned against me shall prosper. For the greater one lives in me, yes, he does. Yes, yes, we didn't call him more. See, I'm an overcomer. I say, yes, we didn't call him. Yes, we didn't call him. Over Satan power is higher than Kuni. See, I'm an overcomer. I'm an overcomer. Cause yes, wedding Kuni. Yes, wedding Kuni. Over Satan power is higher than Kuni. I'm an overcomer. I'm a now. I'm into Hosanna. Hosanna. Jesus Nerman, are you for in our Hosanna? Woman to Hosanna, I mean I won't better say Jesus Nerman, are you for in our Hosanna? Could you come on?
Listen to Aunties Mary, Lottie and Regina on the Family Enrichment Programme on Starr Radio UK. This and every Saturday from 6 to 8 p.m.
Some people are wicked because don't make it your business going about revealing
people's secrets. Don't be a busybody.
And some people. Today's typical family is under pressure from various directions. Divorce is on the increase. More and more of the Afro-Caribbean youth are taking to crime, etc. The Family Enrichment Program brings together a team of qualified experts to discuss and shed light on how we can make our families better and stronger. It is said the family can do without the society, but the society can't. Listen to the Family Enrichment Program this and every Saturday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. on Starr Radio UK, your favourite Afro-Caribbean radio station in London.
Listen to Regina Abban and Lady Caroline every Monday from 5 to 6:30 p.m. on Point at Starr Radio UK, where we educate the youth and young adults on life issues.
Hi there, this is CJ Buckman, your life coach. And whenever I'm in London, I listen to Starr Radio UK right here. But guess what? You can listen to wherever you are.
Hello and welcome back to the Family Enrichment program. This is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station. We are discussing relationship, and we've defined what relationship is, which is where two or more people are connected, or the way they feel and behave towards each other, the bond that draws people together to form a relationship. And we have touched on the types. We are still discussing the types of relationships, and we've touched on friendship, and we've looked at what makes a good friendship, that trust, support, encouraging each other, not stabbing each other on the back, honesty, and just being there for one another, because that's what God wants us to do. Add value to one another. And from the beginning, God created us to have relationship with each other. We are not autonomous beings, and we depend on each other. So that's where we are coming from, and we want to also, by the end of the topic, not today, we are developing it. So we want to look at the challenges and what makes a good relationship, and learn skills that can help us to be in a good relationship and maintain our relationship without taking each other for granted. So we value your contribution as well, and I'll give out the phone numbers for the studio that you can call in. It's 0208 133 2257 or 0208 133 2258. To call us from US or Canada is 001 718 303 2737, and text or WhatsApp is 07539661744. So as I said earlier on, this is the Family Enrichment program, and we are discussing relationship, different types of relationship, what relationships are, and the challenges, what makes a good relationship, and what brings us together, the bond, the interconnection. And Auntie Regina, during the break, you wanted to talk about the quotes to support what we've already discussed.
So friendship consists of forgiving one another. In any relationship, the overall action topic is relationship, and underneath it we're looking, the subtopic, we're looking at friendship. So friendship consists of forgiving one another. So in any relationship, forgiveness is key, understanding is key, trust is key, honesty is key, love is key, care is key. Keys are so many, and every key has a specific door that it opens. Okay, so it consists of forgiving one another. You must forgive one another, and as well as receive forgiveness, because others will offend you. So you also has to receive their forgiveness. Okay, so they will come and offer you, I'm sorry, or whatever. You have to be able to forgive, and I think that in itself is a whole new topic. So
because if somebody offends you and you can't forgive, how do you stay?
It destroys the relationship.
It can't be.
It will destroy. So you must be able to offer and as well as receive. So in friendship, this element is very key. Another part of it is that you must understand each other, and you must accept people where they are. In friendship, accept people where they are. We just touched on forgiveness, both receiving and giving. But sometimes you have to allow people space and time to work things out. Okay, and we don't do that very well as a society, and from our Christian background, we don't do that at all. Because all we know is Jesus forgave, so forgive. Okay, now if somebody has offended me, I'm not saying that scripture is not to be practiced. I advocate for that.
Yeah.
But if you've offended me, I'm first an emotional being, okay? I'm first a human being. I'm a social being. And out of respect, I love and care for you. Now you break all those trusts that I've given you.
So
It's basically putting me in uncharted territory. Okay? Someone said it to me recently that I feel naked because you've taken that away from me. So I feel naked, and that hit me in the face. Okay? He said, I trust so much, and now you've removed my clothing. And I'm like, no, don't say that to this person or that person. It wasn't something to do with me. But he said, no, mommy, I feel naked. I cannot trust the person anymore. I feel like I don't have any clothes on anymore. And I said, no, I know that's deep. But that's what can happen, okay? So allow people. That's a deep wound. So allow people time and space
to heal.
Okay, and to understand. Maybe they just have to deal with it themselves. Now
go through the emotions.
The grieving process. Because they may not have died physically. But they are dead emotionally, psychologically, spirit. Do you know what I'm saying?
I do, because as you rightly said, in church, because the Bible says that we have to forgive one another.
And we all preach it.
Yeah, we all preach it.
70 times, 70 times in a day.
Yes.
You will say you've forgiven somebody, but you still need to work through it. You have to work through it. It doesn't go just by clicking your finger or just by saying, I'm sorry, and you receiving it. Both of you need to work through those emotions and that wound that has been opened. But sometimes we are not given the space to do that.
No.
That because the Bible says we have to forgive, so it has to be instantaneous. But it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. So we have to.
You see, sometimes when you do something, you need to check if you've done the right thing. If you know what I mean. I'm talking to this woman and I'm saying I understand what you're saying. I'm with you. I can carry you. I can be with you. But in order that even though you're feeling naked, even though you're feeling betrayed, even though you're feeling hurt and all that, don't cut the person off completely. Maybe you used to call the person 10 times a day. Now maybe once a day. Redefine that mode of
I think we know you are saying that's a big sigh.
It is hard.
It is
honestly
practically.
Honestly, it's very hard, especially when the person is in church. You don't expect this from this person, okay? Yes, we are on national radio, so it's hard. I don't know how to explain it so that in case the person hears it, will not, but they will know that I'm talking about them anyway. Let them
so don't bring.
We are not talking about specific.
So you can rephrase it or paraphrase it or whatever.
It's when you try to help someone, and then that person turns around and stab you on your back, like
bites
you, and it's so much so that you are hurt, and you know that what they're saying about you is not true, and yet they will stand there and lie, and even lie to the man of God that yes, you've done this to them. It hurts.
It does.
It hurts so much.
And when
because
you see them, your heart goes boom, boom, boom,
you've taken that person.
Your blood pressure goes up.
I know, but it's still difficult. We do try, and with time,
everything.
With time, you overcome it. But I'm dwelling on what you said earlier on, which I have experienced, that you have to forgive. And it has to be instant. It's not instant. You have to work at it for you to not get your blood pressure up when you see that person, or frown when you see that person.
Right now, I won't frown.
Right now, your heart.
but But they've asked me for friendship on Facebook. I refused. Because, you know.
You are still healing.
No, I'm healed. I'm healed. I believe
but you've redefined,
redefine
the relationship. Because sometimes you need to do that and relate to people from a distance. It doesn't mean you're not going to talk to them.
No.
For talking, I'll talk to you.
No. We cannot relate. Relationship. Common ground, common bond, common agenda, how are we relating from a distance? That's another topic. That's not for today. No. You cannot relate to someone from a distance unless I'm wrong. I'm still
You can. Because if you hurt me so much, you've touched a nerve. Do you think that what I told you or what we did or what happened that brought about that wound, I will come through the same channel for you to repeat it? No.
And not for anybody to repeat it to you again.
Exactly.
Anyway.
You be cautious. And you tread carefully with the...
I was just thinking, you know what? For example, me and Auntie Vinolia, we went out, we did something really naughty. Anything you want to do. And then we come back and Auntie Vinolia come and tell Auntie Lottie, hey, this is what... You know what I mean? I'll kill her.
Not literally.
Not literally. But the distance relationship will come in.
Exactly.
Because I will feel naked. The trust is being broken. You know? Let me share this. It's a quote. No, I don't know who said it. There wasn't a name. It says, "Don't walk behind me. I may not lead." So it's very profound. Don't walk behind me. I may not lead.
But we have to be leaders.
Don't walk in front of me. I may not follow. Just walk beside me as a friend.
That's nice.
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful, but as
author unknown, I think I'm going to clear it.
As children of God, we are to be leaders.
That's a different topic. That's a different topic, because if you are a friend and you're expecting me to lead you, what if I lead you into a ditch? Because I'm a blind friend.
No,
like you and me go away and we really become naughty. Then you come back and now the blindfold is off. So then you come to Auntie Lottie and say, hey, that woman. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
Yeah, so don't expect me to lead you and don't follow, because I won't lead.
Sometimes we have to.
Sometimes in the right environment, in the right context. But when I want a friend, for me to be a leader to a friend, it's specific, isn't it? It's not if I'm leading you all the time.
That's not
that
doesn't
all the time, but
no.
In certain things, yes, you lead that person.
Okay, another one. Friendship is unnecessary.
It's unnecessary.
It's unnecessary.
Really?
Why?
Okay. Like art. Is it necessary for you to have art in your room and put it up?
Art.
I'm not fussed about art.
Okay, so
it depends on taste.
Friendship is unnecessary, like art. It has no survival value. Rather, it is one of those things which gives value to survival. So friendship is unnecessary. But without friendship, it's not easy to survive. So do you see the dichotomy there? It's one cutting, you have to. It's unnecessary, but you can't do without it. Because we are social beings. We socialize. We thrive on
we need each other.
I mean, without it, we live in community.
Yes, I know.
Okay.
Yeah. But the reason why it's unnecessary is because somebody can stab you in the back. You don't need it. You don't need people to come in your circle to stab you, to destroy your life, to put you down. Some people as friends, they look down upon you.
Yeah.
They don't help you to flourish. They don't help you to build yourself
they are in
up.
Competition as well. Some can be in competition with you.
And they are not good for you. They are not good for your emotional, psychological, social, and all that.
From time to time, you need to take stock. Are they adding value to my life, or are they subtracting from it? And then you make an informed decision about your friends.
So friendship requires appreciation and commitment.
Of course.
And I think I can go on. I love the topic. I'm gonna stop talking. I want Auntie Vinay.
Oh, no.
You've done your research now, so
I'm enjoying yours, so please go on. Honestly, I'm enjoying yours, so next week I would.
I think we've talked enough about it. Will come into the discussions as we go along. So, shall we move on to the next type of friendship? Relationship. I said friendship, family.
Okay.
Yeah.
Auntie
Vignolia.
No.
Can you start us on that?
No. Okay. Family. So family is also a noun. So family is also a doing word. It's a group of people that exist together or cohabit together. Okay, so sometimes, and this is where it becomes very political, sometimes it's family is two parents and their children living together. Sometimes it's a group of people living together, related by marriage, by birth, adoption, or just residing together. So that's family. Let me leave it there before it becomes politically tricky.
Okay. Let me acknowledge some people on Facebook who have joined us. Felix A. Tete joined us. Ohene Kwachi II also joined us. And we've got Alberta Okran.
Oh, saying, hi, Auntie Alberta. Hi.
Say, God bless you, women of God.
Amen.
Lashos Aziz from Ghana says he's enjoying the program.
Hi,
it's very
Hi.
interesting. Yeah, thank you all for joining us and for your comments. Auntie,
not ready. Okay.
Not ready.
Family
yet.
can be a social group characterized by common residence, economic cooperation, or reproduction. Okay, it includes adults and children, and on it goes. I'm being politically,
Okay. So you've described family relationship.
Yeah.
What comprises a family relationship? I think we can all relate to that. I know there's some people that don't experience. We all come from a family. We all come from somewhere, but there are some people that don't experience that close family bond.
Network.
Yeah, the family network. But at least we know what a family setup and relationship is. So shall we move on?
There are 5 main types of family.
Okay. You're going to break it down. I know we'll just move on to the next type of
relationship.
Okay.
We haven't types of family. We just defined it. We've not expatiated. Okay, so we have the nuclear family, the extended family, the single parent family, and then we have family that are childless. Okay, so let's not forget that. And then we have family that most basic type of family are portrayed by the media as happy family living together in total harmony. But we have nuclear, we have extended, we have single parent, and then they reconstitute, which is either childless family or other types of family, and they are all family.
Okay.
The nuclear family will be me,
husband and wife,
and children.
Exactly, that would be husband, wife, and children. That's the nuclear, isn't it? So that's the exclusive unit. The extended family will include
the
parents,
the aunties, the grandparents,
the extended family,
uncle,
the branches. That comes in, isn't it? And the nuclear family, when it comes to husband, wife, and children, from the Christian perspective, is key in society, because it's what makes society. It's what forms society. It's what holds society together. So when
that's that comes in a jingle, isn't it?
Yeah.
The family can do without society, but society cannot do without the family.
So when you go to the Far East and other Asian part of the world, they are prescribed one child because of the population. Okay, so at least you are given the opportunity to have one child, and that has its good side and bad side. If you come to the Western world, recently in the newspaper, one lady had 23 children, and she was about to give birth to the 24th. So that's with the same. I thought it would have been different relationships, but it's the same husband and wife team that have produced so much. The husband wants so many, the wife wants so many, and they are carrying on. And none of these children were IVF or anything. They're not assisted in any way. It's natural conception. Okay, so that's the nuclear one. Now we can talk about the extended as well. And I like the extended family because in society, that is what we talk about socially when we talk about family. We're talking about the extended. Yeah, because sometimes the wife and the children, the husband, they need help. Okay, I know children that take their newborn baby to the grandmother or the grandfather to do the babysitting. They help society, isn't it? So that child can go to work and earn and pay their taxes. Society is flourishing, isn't it? The government gets money to do business. Meanwhile, the grandmother is not being paid.
Suffering.
Unpaid labor. So life goes on. So the extended family can be very good. The aunties and the uncles. Sometimes the natural biological parents are not able to support the need of the child for various reasons.
Because they're also young and they're busy working, and they've got their own lives to lead. So therefore they're not there. Whereas the grandparents, they're retired.
Not always.
Well, okay, not always. Well, some of them are retired. But back home, if we talk about back home, I was brought up by my grandmother. Even though mom was around, but it's.
I was brought up by my auntie. Mom was always on business trip.
Right.
I was brought up by my parents, and I stand by that. You have your own.
That was at home. But mom was always on business trip because she was a business.
And grandma was in the home.
No, grandma was miles away, so auntie was there. Sometimes uncle was there. So me, I can relate easy with men than with women because most of the time there was always somebody in their house. But yeah, so the extended family, uncles, aunties, nephews, nieces. But what I wanted us to look at also is that sometimes, for example, as you said, I may be the biological mother, but my lifestyle is not profitable for me to live with the child. So an aunt, a sister of mine, or a brother of mine, not officially adopt, but indirectly adopt the child and look after the child. And sometimes siblings bring other siblings up. And the parents are not, I don't want to use the word this year, Auntie Lottie, I'm not using negative words. So they are not so responsible, Mebuana. Is that a better word?
That's better.
They are not so responsible.
They are not up to the task.
They are not up to the task for various reasons. And sometimes it can be as a result of unfortunate situation. Death might come the way, and then siblings have to step in, aunties and uncles have to step in. Sometimes diseases, long-term sicknesses, things happen. So the extended family is there. Single parenting is also key in society. Without the single parents out there, some men are doing so good, some women are doing brilliantly. You see how I qualify that? Some men are doing so good, some women are doing brilliantly. So single parenting family is also there. Then the reconstitute, which we've touched on, the adopted or the fostering or all those bits and pieces also come in. And also that helps to form a family. So in a nutshell, living together in harmony, doesn't matter where we are coming from, as long as we've all migrated from Ghana and we've all found ourselves somewhere, and then we all become family. Because now I have extended family. Auntie Lottie is an extended family. Auntie Vinoda is extended family. Not just friends. You see how the friendship then develops, becomes family. So the Auntie Mary, you are my first family.
You better.
So that's a family. Now, again, it's built on common grounds, not just by blood issue, by common interests, mutual respect.
Our church family as well.
Oh yes,
the church family.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Let me not talk about the church family. I'll leave the two of you.
I love my church family.
Oh, good. I want to learn.
Yeah, because we are not many in Bible Life Family Ministry. So if you are a visitor, the moment you walk in, we know. We can tell that.
So your nuclear family Bible Life, you know the numbers.
We know the numbers, and we are so cozy together. It's so nice. We are growing, but at the moment the way we are is so nice and lovely.
That's wonderful.
Yeah,
that's wonderful.
And that's how it should be, really. That's how it should be. That, you know.
It doesn't mean that there isn't, you know.
Oh, okay.
But we still interconnect.
Yeah. There's no family that doesn't have its own ups and downs.
Exactly.
There's always a black sheep in every family, isn't it? So
natural. So it's good.
But some people actually live for the church family. So we need, as a church, we need to really step up.
Especially in this part of the world.
Of the world, yeah. You know,
because there are people that they don't have their own biological family
around them. In the diaspora. Wherever you're living in. If you're living in Ghana, you may your natural nuclear family and extended family may be miles away from you. And that was one thing I was looking at. We say family, we forget that we have family that live miles away from us, and we still connect with them, and we still have relationships with them, and we are still connected to them, but they are not close by. And thanks to Skype, and thanks to WhatsApp, and thanks to all these
FaceTime,
you know, technology, we are able. I mean, those days we had to write a letter. It took
Telegram.
It takes 3 weeks. 3 weeks to get to Accra. Then from Accra to wherever the letter has to get to is another story. Do you know what I'm saying? But now, Mijina Montana, I mean, what can say you?
Oh, you can even see them as you're talking.
Video call. Video call. So there are ways that we, you know, and that's why the world has now become a global village, as they termed it. So it's easy. It shrunk so much through technology. Thanks to technology, may it forever thrive. Yes, but then it can be abused. We won't go there today. Technology can easily be abused, but for the right reasons and for the right purposes, technology is wonderful. And the people who design and develop and manufactured it, they had good intentions.
Of course.
Absolute good intentions. Okay.
Imagine.
Sorry?
Human nature.
Imagine the wars that were lost, information that never got to one place to the other because of what did you just say? Telegraph, isn't it? So when or fax machines, when the information was faxed to Regina Aban to tell Regina Aban you've won the lottery. From today onwards, you are being thrown, and then somebody that loves me so much will see it and shred it. And I remain in my poverty. You know what I'm saying? But now with technology, emails, I get a direct email. No more faxing. So I get a direct email to tell me that I'm a millionaire. And you can't cheat me because I have the proof in my email. So technology has been so good to us, and it has helped us to understand. And even as parents, when your child is out there, text messaging, you keep in touch with the child. You can communicate with the child. You're not waiting up hours on end not knowing where your child is.
Okay, this is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, in the UK. This is the Family Enrichment Program, and I'm Lottie, your host, and I've got Auntie Regina and Auntie Vinolia in the studio, and we've been discussing relationships. And we've talked about the definition, the different types. We're still expanding on the different types. We've talked about friendship, and we've now touched on family.
I gave you a printout. Let me see if there's anything I can add in there for the family.
And we've established that we need each other to thrive and to exist in harmony. We are going to move on and look at one of yours. I don't know which one you want to pick. Church? The church family? Talk a bit about that. Or society? That was one of yours.
Yeah, it was, but I didn't write anything.
No. So which one do you want us to digest?
Let's do yours.
Okay. We have talked a bit about the church family anyway. That they are our spiritual family, and some people look up to them, look up to that body, very, very much and very closely, because to them they are the only family that they have around, and there's a lot of support that comes out of the church family. I remember when I was getting married, people were coming up to me, oh, I want to do this for you, I want to do that for you, and it really touched me, it really moved me, and that I wasn't expecting that, but the love that came out of the church family was really, really
Was
good.
it because you were getting married to Apostle, or? I just wanted to know.
So what are you saying? It's because of Apostle.
That's why I was
what
getting.
they are,
Well,
you know.
I don't know, but I accepted it graciously.
That's it. It may well be. Because both of them are in the same church. The family saw it as a need to support you wholeheartedly. And both of you have your good sides and your friends and so on and so forth. So it may well have been. But I mean, Auntie Lottie is a wonderful woman. She cooks, she bakes, she gives herself 100%. So people, you know, warm up to her quite easily, and she has a long list. But you know what? Family relationships are supposed to be a lifetime thing. So you cannot divorce a family member.
A child in America divorced the parents.
Yes, that's one in a million. That one is one in a million, right? I agree with you.
Some may not go to court to divorce their parents, but they do.
Yeah,
they do.
Unofficially,
they don't call mom. They don't call dad. They don't have any connection with siblings. They don't have any care, love, and attention. Yes, especially for us that are living outside the boundaries of our national land. Sometimes the pressure coming from that land can cause us to disengage. Of course. If you know what I'm saying.
Definitely.
Okay. And then, and I find this very strange. You know, some people travel and came abroad and never looked back. Never turned back. Never went back.
And never communicated.
Ever.
You can never, sometimes you won't go back for whatever reasons, but at least you can communicate.
Now we have telephone cards and things to communicate. In the 60s, there was nothing like communicating.
But you can still write a letter, or you can go to the post office.
No, they don't. Because the people they are writing today, they can't read anyway.
They can get somebody to read. That's no excuse, Auntie. It's no excuse.
On a serious note,
I'm thinking from what you said that could it be that life was so difficult for them that they felt you know, when you are abroad, everybody looks up to you that you can bring something, and maybe the day wasn't there, and for them to communicate it means more pressure, so they stay in their corner.
Or could it be they found a new family that meant that was more of a value to them? They can easily connect, easily reach. Sometimes, as we said, the family is the one that is to tell you whether you are going up or you are going wrong. And if there's no one there, and you know, out of sight, out of mind, and out of care.
I find that really difficult. But because I traveled and then I forget about my family totally.
But you just said it, Auntie. A lot of people have divorced. Not officially.
Not officially, but at least at some point in your life, unless things never get better, but even that at some point.
But after 30 years of disengagement, because there's no attachment, because don't forget, relationship requires attachment.
Yeah, it does.
So 30 years of disengagement, when you go, how do you relate to the person? They don't know you. You've outgrown. And especially if you lived in the Western world, your mindset
is all different.
Your attitude, your thinking, your behavior, your dressing.
Your mom and dad. Not
your
even
mom and dad is
checking.
old. You look at them, they are not the same face, the same people you left 30 years ago. How do you relate to them? How can you relate to them?
You can have maybe a close relationship with them, but at least you can. Are you okay? But are you talking about nothing at all?
Whatever it is, Auntie, whatever it is, some people never went back. They never got in touch. They are happy. They are happy to live abroad and live and die. And then when the person happens to die, so these are the things we are dealing with. It happens.
Your friend is on the line.
Brakwami is on the line. Brakwami, USA. Producer,
he's gone. He's gone offline.
So you know, family is very important. It's very important. It's supposed to be a lifelong thing. It can be dependent or independent. Now, don't let it become independent like the one we just described. Let it be independent.
It is a hard one.
But even in this
country,
I have some children are independent of their parents. Some because of difficulty in maintaining the relationship. Some children are not bonding with their relatives, okay, with their parents. They are not bonding, and they feel. And I recently had 2 girls I was supporting. They feel they are better off out of the family home, living their own life, because the restrictions and the culture of home, as they see it, is too restrictive. And it is not helping them. So they don't want that family connection. And then when they see their mom and their dad in social events, they don't relate to them.
They ignore them.
They blank them. This year I'm not using negative word. They blank them out.
You can't run away from it.
For how long? They blank them out. Okay? And mother can see a daughter there and is unable to and don't even, because of the hate, don't even want to call a daughter, don't want to even call a son. Okay? And some children, and recently, okay, let me not say this. Recently, this kind of challenges led a lot of our Christian children to move from Christianity to other religions.
Oh yeah.
That's sad.
It is sad. It is sad.
That's sad. And okay. I'm having some difficulty here processing this. That if the family are disengaging with the scenario you've described, and then the church is not able to pick it up and counsel and support these children, these families, for them to move into a total, I hope, a different religion.
That's why we have to take family enrichment on the road, go into the churches. These things are not being taught in the churches, okay? Now, I'm not here to bash any church, but you heard on social media this week, a man of God shot himself in the head. You haven't heard? No. In the United States of America, a pastor put a gun to their head. Now, I'm not here to talk about the ins and outs of that, but I'm talking about the fact that the bonding, the care, the connection, you know, being open and transparent with each other. Now, he's a man of God leading a whole ministry, and I don't have the whole facts, so I'm not even going to discuss it. But it's happening. The fact that there was nobody that he could have this discussion, and some of our children are disengaging from church, from the Christian environment for various reasons, and
so we need to rise up.
We need to look at it. Okay, you say that there was the church couldn't step in and whatever. When the child is far gone, is when often the church is made aware. When it's a teething problem, the church may not be aware. Sometimes,
or even they are aware, but they are not equipped enough to solve that problem,
to deal with it,
to
step in and manage and help resolve the issue.
Because I come from a background of a church, and you know, I needed support for my children. I didn't get it. I've been in this church for 15 years before man of God will call me and say, Vinolia, how many children do you have? Seriously? Seriously? How many
After 15 years?
Yes. It's sad.
And the churches we have these days, the church environment we have these days, there are not enough activities to engage the children.
Our youth. Yeah, there is not.
There's not enough engagement activities that keeps the children occupied. We say we have a youth ministry. We say we have a youth ministry, but it's youth ministry in name. When I was growing up in the youth ministry, we did programs that promoted the youth well-being, and the youth felt valued and important and accounted in the ministry, not just turn up with mommy and daddy and sit there and then go home.
We are not going there.
But we have to go there at some point. Because we are educating the public, we are educating ourselves about these things so that it doesn't happen anymore in our churches. So,
okay, we've got two people joining us. Emmanuel Chidi.
Pastor Chidi.
Oh, Pastor Chidi.
Yes.
Thank you, man of God. Mame Kata. Doreen. Oh, okay. Joined. Thank you,
woman of God.
Prophetess Doreen.
Yes.
Okay. You can see we've enjoyed the topic so much, and time is flown. We've got 3 minutes to the top of the hour, and okay. So we have to bring the program to a close, unfortunately.
What a shame.
Yeah.
I'm just warming up.
Yes. Yeah. 2 hours is flown very quickly. Yeah, that is because we've
need to go and chop.
We've enjoyed the topic, and hopefully, God willing, next week we'll be back to continue with the discussions. So, and hopefully Auntie Mary will be able to join us.
Yes, looking forward to the biological side of the family.
Yeah. Before I end the program, I want to hear your last words about what we've been discussing. Any other things you want to?
There's so much we've talked about.
Yeah. So I'll start with you, Auntie Regina. What are your last words?
Thank you for having me, Auntie Lottie. As always, I enjoy this program so much. It's a pleasure to be back on air, and I hope it won't be. We will continue. But today we've looked at 2 aspects. We've looked at relationship, and relationship is key. Okay, I mean there are many types of relationship, but the reason why we are looking at relationship is because it supports our health, our happiness, our vitality. It gives us the opportunity to develop and progress, and then be able to know where we are. Okay, every relationship is important. Let's not underestimate. Even the relationships that give you bad experience is there for a reason. It helps to strengthen you and all that. So there's a reason for all of it. What I want to share with somebody who's listened to us for the past couple of hours is that build and work on your relationships. Don't give it up. Whether it's friendship, whether it's family relationship, don't give it up. Don't just throw church relationship. Don't just throw the towel in the ring and say you've had enough. Okay, redefine the boundaries.